Hello. Howdy, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. How's everybody doing? The ultimate grifter is here, Pink Trip. I am the ultimate grifter sent by God to destroy all the other grifters. The grifting war is on, boys. Nick took some shots at Ian and Candace, and then Ian made a video last night taking shots back at Nick. We got a good old-fashioned grifter war, boys. Hope y'all ready. Hope y'all ready for the grifter wars. So we're going to cover that, all the latest in the whole fucking drama around Candace. Ian Carroll's now inserted himself into it. And Nick, who, I have a lot of disagreements with Nick, but I think Nick's right on the money. I think Nick's on the money with his criticisms of Candace and Ian. And we're going to get into it. We're also going to dive deep into the thing that they always fall back on. Now, I'm not saying there's not a conspiracy when it comes to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I'm not saying there wasn't multiple people involved behind the scenes. I'm not saying any of that. But what I am saying is that a lot of people are grifting their asses off of the death of Charlie Kirk. And really muddying up the waters. If you really do want to know what really happened, they're not helping, okay? So I'm going to debunk the biggest one, or I'm going to attempt to debunk it, and then maybe people can debunk me, because I really do want to know the truth. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Please debunk what I'm going to say. But we're going to go deep into the one they always fall back into anytime you call them out. Oh, a 30-06, you believe a 30-06? Okay, well, we'll dive into that. We'll do some research, because apparently it's impossible for a 30-06 to not have an exit wound, right? Because that's what you're saying, right? Because it's either possible or not possible. And if it's possible, then what are we doing? Yeah, it could be unlikely. It could be, maybe you want to say even suspicious, if you want to go that far. But it's either possible or not. And if it's possible, well, then it's possible. What the fuck are we doing? So yeah, we'll talk more about that, but let's get into Nick's clip first. What's up, everybody? Let me say hi to the chat, guys. Smash the thumbs up if you want to get this out there. You want to help the grifter wars get out to everybody. Smash the thumbs up. Links in the description if you want to support all that good stuff, or join the Discord. How's everybody doing in the chat? Oh, Hefe, what's up, brother? Grok is never wrong. No, Grok is wrong a lot, but you got to know how to use Grok, right? So when Grok says something, you got to go, give me the source, and then you got to go to the source, okay? And when it comes to old data, Grok's a little more accurate. And a lot of this shit is old data, right? Because, military's been studying ballistics. It's been studied. Like, there's people whose whole life has been dedicated to, wound treatment, like, specifically in wartime, like how to deal with wounds and what kind of wounds are there. So, it's almost like this shit has been studied and documented before. And, like, tons of people have been killed in war. And we actually have data on whether or not it's possible or not possible. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, you can debunk me when we get to that section. First, you got to hear my data out. But what's up, everybody? Hello, Olive. Oh, hello, El Jefe. Hello. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. Hope everybody's having a good old time. So we'll start off. This seems to be the clip that really kicked everything off. Nick went in. He says, This low IQ conspiracy theory stuff is a huge problem. It's a complete irrationality. People don't even care about the truth. And he basically goes after this whole thing. And it seemed to rub some people the wrong way. Specifically Ian Carroll. I mean, we already know him and Candace are going at it, but now him and Ian Carroll are going at it as well. Let's hear Nick out. Let's listen to this clip.
This low IQ conspiracy theory stuff, it's a huge problem now. It's complete irrationality. People don't even care about the truth. They have no relationship to it. And the conspiracy theory used to be the truth. It used to be the case that the government and big tech was suppressing speech. And if you were a conspiracy theorist, it's because you cared about the truth. You wanted the truth to get out there about 9/11, about JFK, about whatever, all these different things. It was your commitment to the truth that led you down these rabbit holes and led you to press up against the system and maybe get censored or attacked or defamed or whatever. And now it's just become pure paranoia, pure irrationality. And it's reflexive. And we'll talk about it tonight. That'll be our main story. But it's just like, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand how these brain damaged old people, and it's a lot of women, it's a lot of men too, sadly, and some young people, but it's a lot of women and a lot of brain damaged old people that have been sucked up into this. I feel sorry for them. It's like QAnon. It's literally no different than the Trump cult, than QAnon. It's the same thing.
I agree, dude. I 100% agree. I've said basically the same thing, but I didn't connect QAnon to this. And it does go, oh shit, this is the QAnon crowd. That's who they're grifting to, the fucking QAnon. The JFK Jr. is still alive, guys. He's going to show up and he's going to... It's that shit. It really is. I see the connection
and here
now.
It is. She gets invited to go to Turning Point. Isn't this this is the end game? Okay, you won. Go and ask them. You're leading the investigation. Charlie told me in a dream that he was set up and betrayed. I'm going to take the charge, blah, blah. They invite her to come and do the show. She goes, oh, I can't. And immediately people say, well, she's got kids. Well, it's Christmas. Well, what if they're going to kill her? You know, I think that if she went to Turning Point and died there, I think that would be a little too on the nose.
Yeah, I mean, she'd be proven right too, right? At that point, I'd be like, oh shit, okay, maybe she was right. Maybe she was right. They actually killed her.
You know?
I hope nothing happens to her, by the way, because if like she gets in, like if she just gets into a car wreck and dies, no one's gonna believe it, right? Like she just runs a red light and accidentally, you know, like people do every day, they die in car accidents. No one's gonna believe it. Everybody's like, oh fuck, it was Israel.
They're saying,
or wait, no, it was France. Sorry, I can't keep up.
And she can't go to Turning Point. They'll kill her there. It's like, this is all happening on Twitter. How would they get away with that? Does that even make any sense? I've never seen anything like it, honestly. And it's making me seriously reconsider a lot of things. Not the Jewish issue or anything like that, but you realize that a lot of this stuff has gone too far. It's hit the high water mark. And by that, I mean, you know, when you don't have these institutions, when you don't have anything like that, then you just get, there's no bottom, there's no floor.
Yeah. Also, it's incentivized too. That's the biggest thing. And look, I'm not saying they shouldn't make money. They shouldn't be able to do this, but that's a reality to it. If you incentivize something, if someone knows they're going to make money by doing A instead of B, what do you think they're going to do?
For how far you fall into psychosis like this. That's the only thing I could say about it. I watch her show. I don't know how people eat this stuff up. I'm watching her show. She's literally saying, this whole year I've been having visions and dreams of beekeepers. And this is literally her show. I'm like, I'm scared. I'm scared that normal people are watching this. People that I know are watching this and eating this up. It's like, it's disturbing. It's deranged. And I didn't get involved in all this for that. I didn't get involved in this to hear some like fucking black female guru tell us about her fucking dreams and these low IQ conspiracies. It's an insult to conspiracy theories. It's an insult to the radical right. It's a fucking joke. And I don't want anything to do with it. And I'm glad that we had a falling out. Thank God, because I can't imagine even trying or feeling obligated to have to defend this. It's gross.
Okay, so I watched this on Rumble, and I read the comments on Nick's channel. It's dude, oh man, it's just are bots real or not? Or you know, because if you mention like, damn, this sure seems like bot behavior. People go, oh, you're coping. You're saying it's bot. Well, do bots exist or not? Are bots a real thing? We all agree, right? Like bots are real. People use bots to like push agendas and make things look more popular than they are. I'm not saying they're not bots, but this is kind of bot behavior, to be honest. It's a bunch of fucking accounts that nobody follows. And then they just all pile on and they're piling on Nick, talking a bunch of shit. Oh, Nick's took the $7,000, Nick this, Nick that. It's like, dude, how are y'all so fucking dumb, bro? I swear to God, it's dumb at this point. Like, I get it. Ask your questions, all right? Have fun asking your questions. But when the rest of it, I mean, I don't know, man. It's convenient just to paint it as, I'm just asking questions. That's all I'm doing. I'm just asking questions. You have a problem with me asking questions? Convenient to paint it that way, but it goes a little further than that. So Ian came out last night. This is Ian Carroll, old Long Chin. I like to call him Long Chin. He came out and responded, and there's nothing wrong with it. He has a beautiful, manly chin. Okay, that's not an insult. All right, but it is long. He came out and responded to Nick and basically was like, come on, man. Why aren't you on our side, Nick? I thought you would be on our side. It's kind of pathetic, but everybody's acting like, oh, Ian W. I don't know, dude. It comes across kind of lame to me, but okay, let's hear Ian out.
You're the Israel guy. You're our guy, bro. And we are now well into the moment with Israel, with TPUSA, with Candace, with the Trump government, with everything. And what's going on, man? Where are you at, Nick? Like, yeah, Nick is still doing his thing. He's still running his show. He's still being critical of Israel. But he's also doing the podcast circuit, basically running everything he can against Candace.
And that Ian hasn't done the podcast circuit as well? Yeah, okay. So basically you're taking Candace's side. I see what's going on here. So, I mean, I like Ian. I'm not saying Ian's wrong about everything, but I think in this case, he's putting himself out there on a ledge. He's going too far. He's going too far with this one. And it's going to end up making him look stupid in the long run. Again, I could be wrong. But I think in the long run, him and Candace are going to end up looking really fucking stupid. But maybe it won't matter because people aren't going to believe, right? No matter what evidence comes out, whatever's presented, they're just going to keep questioning and doubting everything. Well, of course that's fake. Of course. Oh, you think that's real? Oh, how stupid are you to buy the FBI narrative? So it doesn't even matter what evidence is presented because everybody's dug themselves in and they're never going to fucking accept anything else other than what they want it to be. And it's clear certain people want this to be a conspiracy. They want it to be Israel. They want it to be they want it to be everything but a dumb kid assassinated Charlie Kirk.
And against actual, like, factual information, I could understand if Nick was skeptical of Candace's sources, but Nick is straight up.
You mean her dreams? Her sources that come to her in dreams?
Like, not here. Not there for the conversation about Israel in the way I think a lot of us expect and the way I think a lot of us were ready for. It's like arriving on the battlefield and your general is off hanging out with Steven Crowder. Like, you're supposed to be our guy, bro. This is your moment.
Look, if you want him to be your guy, maybe present some evidence that will sell him on what you're saying, because you could sell me too. Like, please present the evidence. Because I've been following it now and there's nothing that's fucking sold me, and you can sell me. I'm not wanting to be on one side or the other. If you had fucking something of substance other than just, isn't that weird? Oh, this is so strange. Isn't that weird? Oh, this person obviously lied about this. That's not evidence. That's not enough. Candace clearly is the worst, right? Because it's her dreams. Oh, it's all these tips. It's these emails she gets. And it's like, bro, please show me the evidence, okay? Show me the evidence because I want to believe. I want to believe too, damn it. I want to get all those views like you guys too, damn it. I want to fucking, get 150,000 concurrent. I think Ian, I don't know how many he did total yesterday. But at one point I checked in, it was like 12K. So he's killing it. I'd like to kill it too, but God dang it. I sure would need some evidence. That sure would help.
This is your moment on so many levels, dude. Where are you? You're on Steven Crowder disavowing the people that are actually out here taking on Israel, taking on the deep state, taking on the whole thing.
That's what you're doing.
And you're over here with Crowder. With Crowder. And we're going to get into all of these different elements throughout this show. And like the world is not
A
about picking
Crumulus
sides.
super chatted
But sometimes
$2. Ian Carroll is the QAnon Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, I can see that, man. I can see the Wicked Witch of the West. Glass Joe from Super Mike Tyson Punch Out. There's a lot of things that come to my mind when I think of how Ian looks.
when you look at the side,
He's a beautiful man, though. He's a beautiful, tall, handsome man. I'm not going to say he's not. Okay, so I'm not going to pretend that if I was a chick, I wouldn't want to get me some Ian Carroll. Okay, I'm sure he does well.
sides of an issue, it tells you a lot about the issue, and it tells you a lot about how. If you are thinking about a thing in a way that makes you arrive at the same conclusion as Tim Pool.
Okay, so that's your argument. Oh, you agree with Tim Pool? How could you agree with Tim Pool? Because Tim Pool's bad guy and we're good guy, and bad guy always wrong and good guy always right. That's the way a lot of these people think. They break the world up. A Tim Pool bad, Ian Carroll good. So everything Tim Pool say bad, everything Ian Carroll say good. That's not how the world works, guys. Not how the world works.
And as Steven Crowder, and as Rabbi Shmuley, and as all these other people. And to be clear, I'm not saying that Nick is the same as Rabbi Shmuley.
It sounds like that's what you're saying. You're saying Nick's basically an Israel shill now. That's what you sounds like to me.
Okay, I'm just saying. How are you winding up at the conclusion of these guys? With all that you know, with all that you've called out.
That's the best argument you have. You don't have any evidence to present. It's just you're agreeing with Tim Pool and you're agreeing with this other Israeli guy we don't like. That means how could you agree with? Where's the evidence, bro? This is your chance. Present the fucking evidence. You got a minute and a half left. Let's see. Any evidence? Let's see.
With your deep understanding of how Jewish donors control things.
Okay. That's not evidence.
With your deep understanding of the history of Mossad.
That's not
and
evidence.
Of the CIA.
That's not evidence.
You don't even think there's a possibility? Not even a chance. And this is supposed to be your moment. This is supposed to be your rise. You're on the generational run, bro. And you have generationally run right to Steven Crowder's show to hang out with
so you're hanging out with bad people we don't like. So how dare? Where is he wrong? Where is the evidence? Okay, I'm gonna attempt. Like I said, I'm gonna attempt to get into the 30-6. It's impossible. 30 odds. I'm gonna attempt to get into that and get into the evidence. And Ian, I want you to watch and I want you to listen. I want you to pay attention because I want you to debunk what I'm gonna tell you, what I'm gonna reveal. Because I'd like to be debunked, Ian. Because I want the truth, Ian. Okay. But yeah, coming soon, Ian. I don't know if you're going to watch, but if you do, please pay close attention and debunk what I'm going to bring up here in a little bit. We got a few more clips before we get to that.
Fed slop narrative for like kind of a facetious take on it. It's very confusing to a lot of us, and it's a bummer because I genuinely like you being here. I genuinely like that you challenge.
At
How's it going,
Spocko
Spocko?
2181 super chatted $19.99. It
Thank
came
you,
to
brother.
me in a dream has been the go-to explanation for loony people for thousands of years.
Yeah, but then if you say that's crazy, then they pull up the Bible and they go, well, God, a lot of things in the Bible was God and speaking to people in dreams. I'm like, okay, what the fuck are we doing now? I'm sorry, but that doesn't hold up in a court of law, okay? That's not evidence. Your dreams are not evidence I can fucking take to the bank. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, okay? I have crazy fucking dreams all the time, and thank God a lot of them don't come out to be true. I had dreams when I was a kid. I used to dream of my father dying all the time, and I thought my father was gonna die early, like I was gonna lose him, like in my teens. No, he's still alive, like fucking 40 years later. So yeah. Let's rely on our dreams, guys. That's the evidence we need.
Challenge the conversation, and I'm genuinely impressed by what you've done with your platform and your messaging over the years.
And thank you for the 20, Spocko. It's very generous,
I think
bro.
a lot of creators right now are feeling the way I'm feeling and are just afraid to say it because we all know how the groypers are.
Afraid? What the fuck are you talking about? The mob's on your side now. Okay, very clearly the mob's on your side, Ian. So what the fuck are you talking about? Even a lot of the groypers are on your side. They're fucking attacking Nick. Because of course they want the conspiracy that Israel's behind this. That's that's like fucking red meat for them, dude. But yeah. You're the ones that everybody's against when the fucking entirety of the mob, which I always get suspicious when I see the mob all going in one direction. It's like, this is so fucking weird. But yeah, you're the one suffering here, dude. You got Tim Pool's numbers dropping dramatically. It almost seems like it was cut in fucking half, bro. You got Nick's entire fucking audience going after Nick. Well, not the entirety, but if you look at the comment section, it seems like the entirety. But yeah, you guys are the ones taking the risk, getting all the fucking views and all the fucking money, while the rest of us get just attacked for not going along with your fucking craziness. But yeah, we're the bought and paid for ones. We're the ones working for Israel. Okay.
And we all know that Nick is good at holding a grudge. And that's cool. If Nick wants to hold a grudge, that's fine. I'm not stressed. But I'm just genuinely like, bro, this is your moment.
This is your moment. Where's the evidence? That's not evidence. Here's your chance. Nick's listening. Provide the evidence that's going to go, you know what? Holy shit. I didn't know that. And that's crazy, dude. It's all just like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I thought we were friends, bro. You're hanging out with Steven Crowder now. How could you do that? You know how much we hate Steven Crowder. It's like, okay, what are we doing? Where's the evidence?
And you ain't here. We're all on the front lines of battle for America, to save America from this influence.
I don't know, dude. It seems like you're fucking really making it hard for anybody else that might have a legitimate conspiracy, because there are questions. There's questions like, why were people saying he was going to be assassinated on that day on the internet? Was there somebody that maybe Tyler Robinson was connected to who was assisting him? Like, those are legitimate questions. I'd like to get down to the bottom of that. I know the FBI looked at it and said, and everybody goes, oh, you believe the FBI? Well, it's actually a state case. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the state case. The FBI looked into it probably to see if there was some sort of connection between like multiple entities across states, and then maybe they would have taken it over or whatever. But the FBI says they see no evidence of a conspiracy, it being more than just Tyler Robinson. Do I buy that? I don't know. I don't trust the FBI, just like the rest of us. Just like everybody else. There's good reason not to trust Kash Patel and the FBI. But we still got to go on evidence, guys. We still got to know. We got to, before we make crazy accusations of shit, we got to have an actual, like, reasoned fucking argument with data and evidence, not just, oh, my feelings, of course. Oh, you just believe this without, it's like, I can't think that way. If you guys want to think that way, that's fine. I can't think that way. It's not the way I think.
At Laridm 4,373 super chatted $10, who's more likely to be an Israeli plant? The person who tries to bring some logic to Israel criticism? Or the people who say Israel worked with Egypt, TPUSA, and Erica Kirk to kill Charlie Kirk?
Well, yeah, sometimes these people who their whole identity is calling out Israel are like the best thing to ever happen to Israel. It's like, yeah, you make anybody that's got a conspiracy about Israel look fucking crazy. So yeah, I agree with that point. It's a well-made point. Thank you for the 10, brother. You rock. Here's another one from Ian, and then we got Nick responding to Ian from, I think, last night.
Do you believe that Charlie Kirk? That's one of the conspiracies out there right now. What's your position on that?
I don't believe that. As it stands right now, I think it was Tyler Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh, his heart's so broken. Because he knows at this point, like, oh, this is going to make the grift a lot harder. If Nick doesn't go along, fuck, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to trust what Nick has to say because, Nick would probably love another juicy Israel conspiracy. His fans would dig it up. So why would Nick go against this? Oh, God, this is going to be difficult. You can see his heart breaking right here. It really breaks.
Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad.
Nick, pay attention out here, bro. You think that a 30-06?
This is always what they come back to. This is the only thing that really they have at the end of the day. They claim to have all this shit, but it always comes back to you really believe a 30-06 wouldn't fucking have an exit wound? You believe it would do this and that? It's like, that's what they come back to. And we're going to address that next.
Hit a neck vertebrae and turned at a 90-degree angle and then continued at full velocity and shattered a bunch of neck vertebrae below it, and then possibly went down into his heart and stopped his heart? You think that they just paved over the crime scene 2 days later on a Sunday just by happenstance? You think that Charlie Kirk literally tweeting to his Jewish and Zionist donors that he needs to leave the pro-Israel cause is not relevant? And that him texting to his friends the day before this happened, that he was afraid they were going to kill him, is not relevant.
I mean, I hear that every day from like every fucking influencer. This is every influencer thing now. Guys are going to kill me. They want me dead. And I just saw a tweet that somebody just shot at Tim Pool's fucking last night after the show they did with Milo and George Santos. Somebody pulled up and just shot at his shit. So there's a reason why people feel this way, because influencers are, like celebrities, in danger. And a lot of them don't have the wealth. Well, some of them do, but most of them don't have the wealth of like a fucking high level celebrity who can get a lot of security.
Bibi Netanyahu offering him an enormous sum of money that he turned down is
all of this again is not. There's no evidence here.
Not relevant.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Isn't this weird? Isn't this weird? 4 days before or 3 days before Kirk was murdered, you were calling him an Israeli shill. You were like fucking hating on Kirk. And then as soon as Kirk dies, you guys just like co-opt his message and are like, actually, Kirk was like just like us. He believed what we did and he was killed because he was listening to us and believing us. And it's like, it's pretty disgusting how you take Kirk's image and you rebrand it to suit your fucking purposes, which is what you guys are doing.
Like, you're supposed to be our guy, bro. This is your moment. You're on Steven Crowder disavowing the people that are actually out here taking on Israel, taking on the deep state, taking on the whole thing. And
yeah, we saw that already. But yeah. Okay, so 30-06. This is a 30-06. Okay. So the argument always falls back to this. It's impossible for a 30-06 to hit the neck and not have an exit wound. It's impossible, right? Because if you're going to use this as an argument to debunk the official narrative that's out at the current time that it was a 30-06, then yeah, you're saying it's impossible. That's what you're saying. So let's debunk that. What do we got here? Let me pull up my notes from earlier. Where's my fucking notes, dude? Let's get into this. Okay. Let me introduce you to Martin Fackler. Okay? Who's Martin Fackler? Martin Fackler was an American military officer, surgeon, and wound ballistics expert. He served in the U.S. Navy from 1960 to 1975 and in the U.S. Army from 1975 to 1991. He was a field surgeon at the Naval Support Hospitals at Da Nang, Vietnam, and Yakusoku, Japan, and later a colonel in the U.S. Army's Medical Corps. He was the founder and head of the Wound Ballistics Laboratory for the Letterman Army Institute of Research from 1981 to 1991. Now listen, Ian, please pay attention and listen, okay? Because I want you to debunk this. I want you to address this. If you're going to keep going with the 30-06, you need to address this. Okay? And then maybe you can convince me, Ian. I'm still open-minded. Maybe you can convince me it's impossible. But you need to fucking address this, please. Okay? Please debunk this for me. So that's Martin Fackler. Okay? Martin Fackler basically was the guy in charge of doing all the tests to see, like looking at all the data, all that shit. And there's a study he did from the Journal of the American Medical Association. They call it JAMA, the #1 most respected medical science journal in the United States. Dr. Martin Fackler, Colonel, U.S. Army, the guy the Pentagon put in charge of shooting thousands of bullets into pigs. Here's one of his quotes. And this is in the JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association. I'll find the exact information so you guys can all search it, okay? I'll once I'm done going over this, I'll post the link. The problem is it's paywalled, so you're going to have to pay if you want it. Fuck you, JAMA. I don't know why you're doing that, but this is the world we live in. But here's a direct quote from Martin Fackler, who passed away, by the way, rest in peace. He passed away in 2015. Direct quote, contrary to popular belief, high-velocity rifles do not always produce exit wounds. The bullet yawls early. Okay, if you guys don't know what that means, a bullet, imagine the finger is my bullet heading at you. Okay? Say it hits something and it kind of flips to its side, right? Or it could flip upside down like this or whatever, but it's not in the right orientation to be like what the bullet would normally do, which is, spiraling forward. It would flip, right? So the idea with Charlie is that it would have hit a bone and then it would have yawed and then it would have fucking went down into his body and then fractured into pieces. And that's what essentially I've read from the report from the coroner, who obviously is a lying Israeli shill who's just making things up, probably will be the explanation for that. Okay, so let me read this again. Contrary to popular belief, high velocity rifle bullets do not always produce exit wounds. The bullet yaws early, dumps all its energy, and lodges inside the body, especially when it hits bone. Translation of 30-06 hits your neck vertebrae, flips sideways instantly, shreds everything from C2 to C6, runs out of steam in 6 to 8 inches, stops dead, no exit. It happens, it's happened before, it's not fucking impossible. Okay, so when they're acting like this is impossible and this is obviously proof of a conspiracy and that we're being lied to, it's not impossible. Can we stop playing that fucking game? Okay, there's also the NATO trauma handbook, which military medics will use to treat wounds in the field. A direct quote from that one. Some missiles cause massive damage without producing an exit wound if all the energy is used up inside the body. Okay, and then you also have another report, which I should have saved it. This one is not behind a paywall, and I could provide a link to that as well. And it basically, the problem with this one is that the data is not, it's not specific enough. It basically lists a bunch of wounds, right? And I think there's like 60 wounds, combat wounds, and like 27 of I think like 33 of them were perforation. Basically, they went through. And then, so it was like, I think 35% or something of the wounds that they looked at. And this is from Vietnam. And it'd be like, well, but it's a 7.62. It's not a 30. The difference is so tiny between a 7.62 and a 30-06. So if you tell me a 7.62 is not always going to exit, but a 30-06 is, but it's just a tiny fucking difference. That's a little weird, but okay. So yeah, there's Vietnam stats data as well. You know, believe it if you want. Debunk me if you want. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can ask questions and debunk away. So yeah, where else would be good? So there's that. There's also the idea that, there's different types of rounds, right? You have the military full metal jacket. It's designed not to expand. It's just punched through. It's designed, which, is not what a lot of people would use if they want home defense, right? So like a gun that you would have at home for home defense, you would not want that because you don't want to shoot an intruder and then it goes through him and then through your wall and then hits your daughter or some shit like that. But even those, you can still have yawing and it can stop in the neck if it hits bone early. Army proved this. Okay, this it's not impossible. So when you say, so when you try to act like this is proof that if it's possible, then it's possible. It's either impossible or not. It's definitely fucking possible. Okay, and then you got the soft point or hollow point hunting bullets. Dumps all energy in 6 to 12 inches. It's designed to mushroom. Almost never exits a deer, hog neck, or human neck. It's designed not to. Thousands of hunting photos prove it. Bullets stop behind the shoulder or in the neck every single season. But you can find all kinds of hunters who will tell you, I've shot thousands of deer in my life. It's impossible. It's impossible for a third. It's not. It's not fucking impossible. And I'm sorry, but I'll take old, what's this gentleman's name again? I'll take Martin Fackler's word over it, who spent his life investigating this fucking shit for the military. But I'm sure this was all a conspiracy too. I mean, what was this, 1988? I think that's what I'm reading. It's from 1988. So I guess in 1988, they already knew, they were already planting the misinformation so they could fool us in 2025, right? Okay. So yeah, so debunk that. Debunk it. Prove to me it's impossible. And to prove that, you have to go through every record. You have to say, it's never happened in the history of the world. It fucking has. Okay?
At Spocko 2181 super chatted $4.99.
We'll see.
I'm waiting to see what Candace's dreams say about the ballistics. Ping.
They'll just move on to another thing. They'll move back on. Now she's talking about like all these kids in maroon shirts. And the conspiracy is like, why are all these people wearing maroon shirts? And then she's showing pictures of like kids in the audience wearing maroon shirts. And it's like, okay, so now you're going to make people think that they're part of some hit squad. It's just some fucking kid. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. They'll move on to something else real quick, Spocko, if they can't debunk this. But please, debunk it. Debunk Martin Fackler. Please. Go pull up all this data and then, stop just saying it's this. It's definitely this. This is definitely the case when it's like, obviously it's not. It's not impossible. So what are we doing here?
At Bobreen 1108 super chatted $5.
Oh, I saw that one coming, Bob.
There were 2K on YouTube stream with thumbnail saying Kirk is alive this afternoon. Unrelated but dumb so dumb.
Yeah, you know, the YouTube promotes the fucking retarded slop shit. And then for me, it's like, yeah, I get angry people that just attack me. It's funny how that works. I saw that coming, Bob, because remember I did an episode about that because I saw AI was fucking up and trying to say Charlie Kirk was alive. And then you had Milo coming out yesterday, like, I think he's still alive. There's no burial. So that's the next grift. He's still alive. He's fucking, they didn't even bury him. I don't know. Maybe they're keeping the body because they might need to go back and get some evidence. Who knows? I bet you it has, if he hasn't been buried yet, and they're not just hiding the location because they don't want it to be vandalized, et cetera, et cetera. It might be because there might be some evidence there that they want to preserve in case it's needed again. I don't know. Just theorizing. But no, clearly he's still alive, guys. Clearly he's still alive. They just keep moving to new and new conspiracies, man. This is how you keep the grift up. You people get bored of this conspiracy, then they move into another conspiracy and then another one. It's like, you got to keep feeding the masses, man. You got to keep feeding them. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob, and Spocko again. Thank you guys for the support. You guys rock. Yes, please address this. Okay, don't put Grok in some fancy mode where you're like forcing Grok to agree with you and push your fucking find all the evidence that fits your theory. No, like address this data, or prove me wrong. Prove this data wrong. Where's the data wrong? Prove that it's impossible. That's going to be hard to prove. It is, because it's a wild statement to say something's impossible. Like, you're talking 0% chance. Like, that's going to be hard to prove. Okay. If you could say it was 1%, at least that'd be, I'd be like, okay, 1%. Okay. Well, yeah, now I can kind of see, like, that's okay. All right. But it's not, what I'm seeing, it's much higher than 1%. And if you were to say unlikely, I'd be like, great. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Unlikely is true. It is unlikely to not create an exit wound. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. So if you were to change your language to say, it's more likely to have an exit wound than not, then I'd say, yeah, true. But that wouldn't work for your conspiracy, would it? Because then people go, oh, but yeah, but if it's likely, then what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So here's Nick's response. Nick didn't hold back after Ian was like, what are you doing, Nick? You're talking to Crowder. You're not supposed to talk to Crowder. He's a bad guy. You're agreeing with Tim Pool. Here's Nick's response.
Ian Carroll, the conspiracy theorist, he's making videos about the conspiracy behind Red Lobster, the conspiracy behind Applebee's, the conspiracy behind Burger King. He does a live stream tonight and says, where are you, Nick? We're all aligned on this against the Jews, and you are agreeing with Crowder and Tim Pool and everybody else. We need you. Why are you with them? And I would say with Ian Carroll, where's the evidence? What even is that? Everything other than evidence. They're going to say, well, Israel kills everybody else. Okay, people die all the time, actually. People die all the time, and there are a lot of school shootings and assassinations. This stuff happens with regularity. Was Israel behind Luigi Mangione? Why or why not? Was Israel behind the school shooting in Colorado that happened on the same day? Why or why not? Was Israel behind the shooting of Trump? Why or why not?
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get any of those Israel conspiracies around the shooting of Trump. Weird. Seems like you missed an opportunity, guys. You missed some opportunity to grift and make some money off of that.
I don't know if any of those people blamed Israel for the shooting of Trump. Was Israel behind the Las Vegas shooting? Why or why not? Because the heuristic seems to be Israel is behind literally everything. Literally everything. Not most things, not things we can demonstrate with evidence. No, they're behind literally everything. And if they're behind literally everything in the past, then it's safe to assume they're behind literally everything in the future. And that is ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. Why? Charlie Kirk was Israel's top guy. I don't know how much more clear you can make it. And here's a perfect example. Hey, Ian Carroll, why did you on September 7th of this year tweet at Charlie Kirk, you're working for the Jews that killed Jesus?
Crazy, huh? I think I have that. Where's that one at? Right here. So this is September 6th. Remember, Charlie Kirk was murdered on September 10th. Charlie Kirk tweeted out, Jesus defeated death so you can live. And here's Ian, which Ian, I've noticed, I follow Ian. I've noticed he's a hardcore reply guy. Maybe I should start trying to do reply guy stuff. It seems to work really well. And he replied to Charlie Kirk 4 days before he was murdered, apparently by Israel, according to Ian Carroll. And you've dedicated your life to serving the people who killed him. So 4 days before, he's serving Israel. He's dedicated to serving Israel. Let's attack him. Everybody that was Israel pilled was attacking him as an Israel shill. He gets murdered. And then all of a sudden, oh, actually, guys, he was just like us. He was just like us. And then it's kind of disgusting. You've like perverted his entire message to be like you're talking for him now in the afterlife. You're speaking for him rather than listening to his own fucking words, which we do got a nice clip. I think we'll have at the end here of Charlie Kirk and how he really felt about Candace. I don't think he really was digging Candace at the end there. But yeah, guys, just keep putting words in a dead man's mouth. Let's do that. All right, let's get back to the next clip.
On September 7th, 2025, you tweeted that Charlie Kirk is working for the Jews that killed Jesus. On September 11th, you were absolutely certain that Israel killed him because he was this close to telling the truth, and he died for it. So what changed in those 4 days exactly? What irrefutable proof did you get?
Oh, he was pissed off at donors. He sent some mad text messages because donors weren't... Dude, it's not fun to have donors. They try to run things. Just because he was fighting with donors and they happen to be Israeli donors, again, that's not evidence. That's just like, oh, there was some sort of issue. He was having some infighting with donors. Oh, that means Israel killed him. Whoa, you're jumping off a fucking cliff there. That's a huge leap. That's a huge leap.
In those 4 days, on September 7th, you said Charlie Kirk is working for the Jews that killed Jesus. On September 11th, the day after he was killed, you were certain, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Israel killed him.
Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. I forgot to... Here, let me give you guys... I'm going to post the links. Okay. The JAMA one, which is probably the juiciest one, that one is unfortunately behind a paywall, but if you want to pay for it, go for it. Here. Okay. Let me get you the links so you guys can go and debunk this for me. Because if it's debunkable, please debunk it, okay? All right, so you got the Emergency War Surgery NATO Handbook. Okay. This one's pretty easy to find. Just search. There's a lot of sources for this. There's different versions, but they're pretty much similar, okay? Do a search for that. You'll find it. You can go do your own research. That one's not the most damning one. This one is, but this one, again, it's behind a paywall. Okay? But yeah, go debunk this. Ian Carroll, please do me a favor. Debunk this. Show me how I'm wrong, because I'd like to know. I'd like to know. Oh, is it too long? Here, I gotta... Message is too long. Good job, YouTube, cutting off my message. Here, I'll cut it into 2 parts, okay? Boom. And boom. Okay, yeah, go do some research on that and tell me it's impossible.
To silence him. How does that even happen? Before we had a suspect, before we knew any of the facts, any of it, you knew for sure they did it. So, do you have ESP? Are you omniscient? Do you have telepathy?
Well, Candace does. I don't know if Ian's claiming that. Ian's not that retarded. Like, Ian's actually, maybe Ian will come back and get back to like conspiracies where, like, I don't know, they're not fucking retarded and just like, make all conspiracies look retarded. Maybe, I don't know. But when it comes to Ian and Candace, Ian's a little more credible than Candace. I'll give him that. At least he's not talking about his dreams and shit.
I don't think so. This is a grift. This is a grift. It is intellectually lazy. It is dishonest. You are making assumptions that you cannot rationally make. And if you want to destroy your credibility, that's fine. If you want to destroy your credibility by blaming Israel for killing the #1 Israel defender in America, that is your business. But don't try to rope me into it and guilt me or whatever it is you're trying to do, saying, we're all on this side and you're over there. I've been over here, bro. Where were you? I've been over here. I was at Charlottesville, lest I remind you. Where were you in 2017? Were you at Burning Man? Sorry, were you in some commune in Portland? I was at
Dude, I could totally see Ian at Burning Man, bro. I could see that, dude.
Charlottesville in 2017. He goes, we're all over here fighting the good fight. You and who? You and Candace Owens, who was working at Daily Wire last year? You and Candace Owens, who was working at Daily Wire. You and Tucker Carlson, who was working at Fox News. In 2017, 10 years ago, I was at Charlottesville. In 2019, I led the Groyper War against Charlie Kirk, calling him an Israel shill. It is 2025. Nothing has changed. For 13 years, from the time Charlie founded Turning Point until today, that organization was owned by Israel and served Israel, and everyone knows that. In June of this year, Charlie texted Dinesh D'Souza and said, Nick Fuentes is vermin. We've been fighting him for 6 years. He's anti-Semitic. In August, he said, I'm anti-Semitic garbage and I need to be censored, and he would never debate me. That was in August. People want to point out, oh, well, he was leaning in the other direction. He wasn't leaning in the other direction. His right-hand man, Andrew Colvett, comes from Salem Media. Look at who's involved in Salem Media. It is a Christian Zionist outfit. It is in bed with Israel. You want to know how I know that? Melissa Straight used to work there. From Prager University, she also used to work for Unit 8200 in the IDF. That's where Andrew Colvett comes from, and he was Charlie Kirk's right-hand man. Charlie Kirk appointed Andrew Colvett to lead their struggle session about Israel after the Turning Point SAS conference in July. When Israel bombed Qatar in contravention of Trump's own foreign policy, who did Charlie Kirk invite on the show to do Hasbara and explain the party line? Ben Shapiro. While Charlie Kirk played devil's advocate, he lended his platform to Ben Shapiro to give Israel's position. And on Wednesday, the day he was shot, Charlie Kirk met with his rabbi to prepare him to defend Israel at Provo.
The argument's made that because he was, correct me if I'm wrong, but his little beef with probably the donors had to do with, I think, again, tell me if I'm wrong, but it had to do with the regime change that was being pushed with Iran. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of Israeli, remember, Charlie Kirk called himself a Christian Zionist, and I'm sure there was a lot of people who are Israelis who were against that. Does that mean they're not pro-Israeli anymore? You act like within the Christian Zionist movement and the pro-Israeli movement, they might not have disagreements between should we do this, should we do that? That doesn't all of a sudden make them not a Zionist and not a friend of Israel and not like the most prominent pro-Israel voice in the entire right wing. It doesn't change that because they had one little disagreement. But that's the evidence, I guess. That's the evidence we all got to go off of, huh?
As he was writing his forthcoming book about the Jewish Sabbath. And this is the guy that was martyred for fighting Israel? If you think that, I feel sorry for you. Because you are retarded. Ian Carroll says, we're all over here. Where's our general? Where's our guy?
It's funny how life works, right? Like, because not that long ago, I'm talking shit about Nick. What if like in a month, I'm like talking shit about Nick and then I'm on Ian's side again? Because that's how things work sometimes. The topic can change and then Ian can be right and Nick can be wrong. And it's like, I'm not this guy that's like, this guy good, that guy bad. I approach everything equal. I don't give a fuck. Sometimes Nick can be right. Sometimes Nick can be wrong. Sometimes Ian can be right. Sometimes Ian can be wrong. In this case, Nick is cooking these fucking dudes so hard, and Nick is right, in my humble opinion.
I'm right here where I've always been, following the facts, following the money. looking at the information. That's what got me here, light years ahead of you, light years ahead of Candace, light years ahead of Tucker Carlson. Now all these interlopers are going to come in and tell us that our ideology is about Netanyahu and Israel's foreign policy and this kookery. No, sorry, absolutely not. That's totally ridiculous.
He's not done yet. We got more. I think we got another one. Yeah, okay, now here's Ian's response. I'd expect better than to strawman the argument, Nick Fuentes. Start with the bullet. Start with we've obviously already discussed this. Start with the bullet. Start with the 30-06 that allegedly hit him from the front in his C2, which is behind his face, and turned at a right angle and destroyed all his neck vertebrae down to C6, but didn't leave an exit wound. Then you can move on to the rifle, then the footage, then the patsy, then the security team, then the planes, then the covering up of the crime scene, then the weird shit at TPUSA. Hell, you could even get Charlie to Charlie himself saying that he was afraid they were going to kill him. And by the way, the Red Lobster corporate collusion was very real. I didn't follow that. I didn't follow the Red Lobster corporate collusion. It was very real, very well documented, and a wild dig. You should look it up someday. I cited all my sources. So yeah, and then I think Nick responds down here. This is where Nick calls him out for, yeah. On September 7th, you said Kirk dedicated his life to serving the Christ-killing Jews. By September 11th, you were confident he was martyred for his fight against Israel. I mean, look, it's hard to come back from that. You suck up the dum-dum because you know where your bread is buttered and the low IQ conspiracy is your grift. Ooh, maybe they need to do a podcast together. Maybe they need to do a podcast together. Yeah, okay. I expect better than the straw man argument. This is, again, Ian Carroll, 4 days before Kirk's killed. He's, calling basically Kirk an Israeli shill. And then everything flips. As soon as the grifts, like, just set up in the right way to take advantage of it. Oh, okay, no, actually, he's pro-Israel. You know, he's dead. He can't speak for himself now, so we can just say what he was. We can just put the words in a dead man's mouth. And this is where we are now with Candace Owens. Candace Owens' show yesterday, she went through photos of bystanders who wore maroon at the Kirk assassination, insinuating to her 5.5 million followers that they are connected to the murder because maroon is military. Let's hear her out. I don't know. Maybe she's on to something.
A few times here. Here we go. We have this young man. This is after the shot. He's wearing maroon. I'll show you another person here sitting there under the tree after the shot, and he's wearing maroon. I'll show you another person here. We're going to come back to this person who is wearing maroon because his dad is going to say something publicly. 3 people, 1 shot, all of them alone, wearing maroon. We're going to come back to the guy at the top there who has the hat, the darker hat on, who is wearing maroon. Just like these like strapping young men all wearing maroon.
This is what we're doing now. This is what we're doing now. And by the way, she's showing pictures and she's not blurring the faces of those kids or men or just regular people. Like you're throwing accusing them of being part of some military hit squad. I didn't say that. Then what are we doing here? Why are you doing this? Why are you pointing this out? What's the point of pointing this out?
Got this guy in the bush wearing maroon. I could go on and on. This person of how many people were wearing maroon. I even have a video of someone holding a maroon shirt. Okay. So I mentioned that quite casually. And that thing happened where there was an overreaction for no reason online. So
for no reason, Candace. People do point out she likes to look to the right here. I think that's her notes. I think she has notes, which I'm going to start trying to do more to keep me on track. Like basically have notes and prepare more of what I'm going to talk about and have notes. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think that's what's going on. She's looking at her notes.
I knew that I was on the right track and I should probably keep going.
Or, I mean, she could just have a tick of always looking over like that.
And I said something, I think it was on X or maybe it was on the show. And then we received hundreds of emails from people past and presently in the military around the world. And they said, yes, Candace, that is military.
Wait. I got to hear this again. What's her evidence?
Probably keep going. And I said something, I think it was on X or maybe it was on the show. And then we received hundreds of emails from people past and presently in the military around the world. And they said, yes, Candace, that is military.
So again, just random emails from her viewers. That's her evidence that these people that just happen to be wearing maroon. Guys, look, if you have anything maroon in your closet, you have any maroon shirts, first of all, it's an ugly fucking color. What are you doing? Wear black. Okay, wear blue, wear white. Maroon, just throw that shit out. You don't want Candace thinking you're a military hit squad, okay? So get rid of all maroon. Get rid of it. Otherwise, you might you might be there might be people adding you to their conspiracy, okay? That's where we're at now with Candace. It's definitely not going to come crashing down. This is definitely not going to look really stupid in the long run. Here's a new one. Okay, so remember Candace Owens, the TPUSA invited her, and she's like, any day, anytime, you tell me when. And they're like, okay, well, how about the 15th? Oh, actually, I can't do it. That's and then this is really weird. Why are you doing it? It's 24 hours. 24 hours is a lot of fucking time. You have 24 hours to make your schedule clear for something happening 10 days ahead or 11 days, whatever it was at the time. But it's so weird. It's so weird. Your whole show is based on this. This is your opportunity. This is like for you to turn this down. And by the way, Nick has a really good point. We're going to have another Nick because Nick's been cooking these guys. So we got a lot of Nick clips today. Nick really makes a good point because I wondered, like, why is TPUSA against her doing it remotely? Just let her do it remotely. But Nick has a really good point as to why that's a problem. But let's hear Candace's explanation for why she's not going to be at the TPUSA podcast live in person on the 15th.
The assumption is that you are live streaming because you want the internet to be able to attend, right? That's the whole purpose and function of live streaming an event, is that it invites everybody to be able to attend. So when you extend an invitation of live streaming and you don't explicitly say it must be in person, why would I assume that you're going to rescind the offer if I say that I can appear via live stream? Okay. They never said that when they made the offer and they were pretending that they were being sincere. They never made in person a point of their demands. They never also said that I had to respond within 24 hours. That's a hostage situation, okay? There's no way that I...
That's a hostage situation. Being forced to respond in 24 hours is a hostage situation. I think that'll do protest too much. Obviously, it's not important to you. Obviously, Charlie Kirk and getting to the bottom of the murderers who you think TPUSA is, obviously that's not important to you, Candace. Obviously.
I could have accommodated all of that. In a million years, 24 hours to respond. How about, let me see if I can make that work. Even if I could have made it work, which I couldn't have, because my husband instantly said, no, you cannot do this Monday.
Oh, so her husband finally puts the foot down? He waits till now to finally put the foot down on something? Instead of 3 months ago when he should have been like, look, honey, let's stop. This is a bad look. You're going to embarrass the family. So can you calm down? No. Now he steps in. And now it's a problem. Oh, very convenient. Very convenient.
And he runs the household, and he has an important thing going on that day, which involves people that are coming in from overseas. But even if I could have made that work.
Overseas, huh? I wonder what Nick's going to think about that.
I would not have within 24 hours have confirmed to them if they had even sent me an email.
Someone needs to do to Candace what she's doing. Somebody needs to pick Candace. Like, just take her exact method of operanda or method of operanda. What the fuck am I talking about? Just take what she does and do it to her and pick her apart, because there's some conspiracies there too with Candace. It's kind of suspicious. You know, she showed up on the scene because she was a victim of racism because her classmates bullied her and sent her racist voicemails. And then her whole thing was like, she's fighting racism and bullying. And then she starts a website where it becomes a huge ordeal because it looks like they're going to be doxing kids who are like bullying people online. And it looks like it's going to end up with doxing. And then all of a sudden, because of Gamergate and like some left-wing Gamergator came after her about her website and the possibility people could be doxed, the right jumped onto her defense, and then boom, she flipped overnight. Before that, Trump was a sexist, or this or that, typical left-wing talking points about Trump. And then overnight, because the right wing's like, oh, base black woman, we love you, come to us. All of a sudden, she goes full right wing. Nothing suspicious about that, guys. I'm just asking questions, okay? I'm just asking questions. I just think it's a little weird. They don't want me to ask questions, those guys. So go to my sponsor and buy my fucking merchandise.
Because I have kids, I would have had organized things, and it would have just taken longer than 24 hours, and they knew that. It is not my inclination to go to Phoenix without having my team with me. And my husband is very much a part of my team. But I will say that I will raise it further with the Supreme Court of George Farmer. If you are insinuating, and actually if you can confirm that you are saying that you will allow me, as you said further in this, to bring whatever it is, because it would be more authentic if it was face to face. If you're saying that I don't have to deal with you and this is actually going to be very open and I can ask every question under the sun, I might beg, I might beg.
Yeah. I'm not buying any of this. She's got to pretend like she really wants to be there, but she just can't, guys. She just can't. Here's her chance. Like, it's like she's fucking Sherlock Holmes. I don't know if you know this. She's modern day Sherlock Holmes. It's like Sherlock Holmes having a chance to interview his suspect and get down to the bottom of it. Because, usually that would be the end for the suspect. Sherlock Holmes would be like, oh, you have an indentation in your right sleeve. That means you like to rub your forehead. Like, he'll figure everything out from one fucking interview. But you're like, oh, actually, I can't because my husband said I couldn't. Yeah, okay, sure. Very convenient, because everybody was talking about why doesn't her husband fucking put the foot down and stop this crazy shit? And she heard that criticism, and then all of a sudden, now she can't go because my husband. Okay, yeah, I don't buy it. Sorry. It just spiritually does not feel right to me. Something spiritually feels wrong here. Isn't it weird? It's so weird. Well, let's hear what Nikki's got to say about it.
Turning Point says they're going to do a live stream. They're going to answer all the questions about Charlie Kirk. They invite her to show up. She says, challenge accepted. Name the time, name the place. We don't need to plan it out. Let's just do it.
Derpa, you said, it's a fucking live stream. Why can't she be there remotely? No reason. I thought that too. Nick does a good job right here explaining the advantages she has by not being there in person and can be in her studio with her producer in her ear, her producer who could be sitting there pulling up AI and fucking, there's a reason. And I actually now, when Nick explains it, I actually agree. She should be there in person. That's the fairest way to do it.
They say, okay, December 15th. She goes, oh, but that's a bad day for me. I can't do it then. Can I Skype in? Can I Zoom? Bitch. We can't. What are we doing here? And I said it on Telegram. You actually just have to admire the audacity. This woman has gone in every single day for 3 months, and she has dragged everybody, and like every country, the wife, the friends, the company, the government, the FBI, Israel, France, Egypt. She's dragged everybody through this, whatever you want to call it, this investigation. It's served up to her on a silver platter. All right, uncle, we give up. We're losing to disinformation and mass hysteria. The open society is failing. Mass psychosis has taken hold over the nation. Fine, we'll do a live stream. We'll justify why we didn't kill our boss, and you can ask us anything you want. Just show up. And she goes, I can't that day. Honestly, what else do you have going on?
Her whole fucking show is about this. It's the most important thing in the world. She's the only voice for Charlie now. Nobody else is a voice for Charlie because she has dreams and Charlie shows up in the dreams. But yeah, no, confronting the people who betrayed Charlie and getting them fucking right in the crosshairs and really destroying them. No, sorry. I'm too busy. My husband said I can't. That's just like when you want some, like you say you want to be friends with somebody when you're a kid, but they don't really like you. They'll be like, oh, mom actually said I can't go out today. I have to stay inside. And then you go by later and he's like at somebody else's house. You're like, you fucking lied to me. You're lying, Candace. We're on to you.
Your job. You're a YouTuber. She acts like she's a wagey. Like, oh, I got to check with my boss. This is your job. This has been your obsession and crusade for 3 months. Literally, what could you have going on? And I see some people already defending. They say, well, you'd understand if you had kids, it's Christmas time. Okay, I think you get a special dispensation. First of all, it's the 15th.
Yeah, that excuse doesn't fly. No, Christmas is December 25th. Maybe if it was like the 21st through the 25th, I could, but it's the 15th, bro. People are still working. Life still goes on. If it was really important to you, you'd figure it out. You'd find a way.
People are working and going to school right up until Christmas Eve sometimes. It's 10 days before Christmas, okay? Second of all, I think her family would understand. Her whole family's dragged out. I think her family would understand. Maybe we could reschedule the family Christmas party to the 17th, the 19th. Go and do what you got to do. People will defend anything, I guess. But then it gets better. She says, well, I'm not going to go to Phoenix in person. I'll live stream their live stream. So you're too busy to go in person, but you're not busy enough to live stream the event from your house? Does that even make sense to anybody? You can't cancel your show talking about Charlie Kirk's death to go to Turning Point to ask them about Charlie Kirk's death because you're too busy doing your show. This is why crazy bitches, they make the whole world crazy. They make you sound crazy. They make you go crazy.
That's what I'm saying. That's why my brain shuts her off, dude. That is exactly why my brain shuts her off. When I start listening to her talk, 10 to 15 seconds in, my brain just shuts off and it goes to its happy place, and I have very little control over that. It's a defense mechanism. Here he is. This is why he explains why she's why it's an advantage for her to not be there in person and to be there in her studio with her producers in her ear.
If she's so afraid for her life, why was she at Tucker Carlson's Christmas party in Nashville last night? Why was she at Dollywood on Thanksgiving, the theme park? So, allegedly, the French government and the Israeli intelligence have put a hit out on you. They've paid millions of dollars to kill you.
Wasn't she? Sorry, no, actually.
But you're walking around a theme park in your town? You're walking around, for those that don't know, Dollywood?
I was going to say, I saw a picture of her on Fresh and Fit. I thought she was on Fresh and Fit, but then somebody replied saying that was from a long time ago. So, I don't know. But she's not acting like somebody who's fearing for their life, Like there's an elite fucking hit squad, government hit squad, the elite fucking GIGN fucking French legionnaires and whatever the fuck hit squad, millions of dollars on the line. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to go to theme parks. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to go to this party. I'm going to go to that party. Like, okay, sure.
Dollyland.
Sure.
It's like Dolly Parton's Disney World. You're walking around Disney World? You're walking around an amusement park in your hometown on the holiday weekend when allegedly everyone's trying to kill you? Then you go to a Christmas party with Tucker Carlson in the same city attended by hundreds of people, and people know you're going to be there with Tucker and all the based people in one room, but you can't go to Turning Point where everybody knows you're going to be, and if anything happened to you, God forbid, they would immediately blame Turning Point. It doesn't even make any sense. So she says, I'm going to live stream the live stream, and I'm going to fact check it in real time. Why? I think we all know why. She's totally full of shit. She doesn't care about the truth. If she did, she would go, no matter the cost. If she were really courageous and a truth teller, she would bootstrap it and she would say, wish me luck. She would kiss her husband when she walks out the door and say, it might not be coming back. And she would go and just fully send it and do it. Because if this is really, as she says, of cosmic, spiritual, geopolitical significance, you have to. And it's being offered up on a silver platter. You just have to. After talking all this shit, driving everybody against each other for the past 3 months, you got to do it.
There's another theory I heard was that maybe the whole assassination conspiracy she brought out was just another way for her to be like, oh, I can't go anywhere because I might get killed, right? So like, because she doesn't do well when she does interviews in person. Like the last time she did an in-person interview with somebody and they brought up the Charlie Kirk thing, it became a huge embarrassment for her. We played the clips yesterday. If you guys haven't seen it, maybe I can pull it up again. But, it's essentially, the person goes, why do you think Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson wasn't acting alone? And then she points to the weird Discord messages that turned out, which the interviewer proved right then and there. Like, actually, they weren't Discord messages. They were text messages. So she makes herself look stupid. As soon as you have somebody there to question her and doubt the things she's saying, she gets made look stupid. So obviously they're trying to avoid that.
So clearly she doesn't believe what she's saying as far as the significance of all of this. Secondly, I don't think she believes what she's saying about Turning Point. Why does she not want to go in person? Because if she goes in person, she might get caught on the back foot. She might find out that her whole theory was wrong and that all of her facts are wrong, and she might not be able to explain herself. If she's at home, she's not under pressure. What's more, she's got her producer in her ear, like she did when I was on her show, like she does on all her shows. What's the producer's name? Skylar? She's going to have Skylar in her ear. So when she mispronounces something or she gets something wrong, she's going to say, Skylar, what was that? And Skylar can be on AI. Skylar can be on Twitter, and he can help her out. She can have air support. That's
If you have an AI that you've already programmed, you've already talked to it, and you've got it, and you go, this is the reality I want you to live in, the Candace Owens reality world, that AI can come up with some quick fucking responses and questions and like really fight hard for you too. So that makes it really unfair. I think I understand now. Because at first I was like, that don't make any sense, TPUSA. Just let her do it remotely. Just get it done one way or the other. But now, yeah, be there in person. Do it in person. I'm totally with that now. I get it. I get it.
what this is about. And so she knows, first of all, it's obviously she does not mean what she says. It is not that important to her. And she does not have the courage of her convictions. She knows she's going to melt at Turning Point. She needs backup. So then she's going to engage in yet another lie. And then she's going to gaslight the world and say, oh, I'm not a coward. It's not that I don't have the courage of my convictions. It's they are being weird.
That's the go-to. Isn't this weird? It's so weird. It's weird that they would release that message at the offer at midnight and then only give me 24 hours. It's like 24 hours seems like a lot of time. They sent it at midnight the day before. So you had literally till midnight the next day to figure out whether you were going to accept the invitation or not, if you're going to be there in person. But isn't that weird? Why 24 hours? Why because they wanted to fucking make you shut up or like do it or shut up. Who cares? It's their prerogative. But that's weird. Isn't that weird? That proves something, doesn't it? No, it doesn't prove anything. It proves that they're annoyed with your bitch ass because you're fucking destroying their business. You're destroying their credibility. You're destroying their personal lives, their ability to live a normal life without people suspecting them everywhere they go. And you're fucking making people suspicious of his widow. So just the mere fact that they were willing to have a window at all for you to decide to be there is very generous of them, in my opinion.
They're being weird. I'm not backing down. They said we're going to do a stream. You said name the time and place. They did. Now you're saying you can't go in person, but you can live stream it. And we all know why that is. But then she'll turn around and say, oh, I'm not a coward. They're just being weird. They announced it at midnight, so that's why I can't go. You can't go because they announced it at midnight? You can't go because you're seeing this on Twitter and not in your inbox? I mean, what are you even talking about? And so this is where it's like, if you're still on this train, I honestly have no respect for you. If you're still on board after.
What's up, Freeman?
At Freeman3 super chatted $20. Candace aka Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has revealed herself to be what people have been saying for years now. A grifter.
If you look at her origin story, it makes perfect sense. It seems like her whole move to the right was just a grift. I mean, she goes from fighting racism and anti-bullying and starting websites to stop online harassment and bullying to all of a sudden, oh shit, if I go to the right, I can make her whole fucking existence seems like a grift to me, dude.
For this, I don't know.
Thank you, Framer, for the 20. It's very generous, brother. Thank
how
you.
Anybody can buy in. And like I said, I'm not saying this for rhetorical effect. I would actually love to see her talk to Turning Point because there's not a losing scenario there. If she goes to Turning Point, we're either going to find out that she was right all along. She's going to bring the receipts. She's going to name the names. She's going to put the screws in these people, and she is going to blow the lid on everything. And you know what? If she's right, we want to know.
Yeah, I do too. But yeah, I wouldn't bet on it. But dude, yeah, I want to see this so bad. Like, I want to see the fucking showdown at TPUSA. It's going to be beautiful. But of course, we're probably not going to get it. But at least we'll get TPUSA, and they get to fucking maybe make Candace look retarded. Because maybe they're sitting on some shit that's going to disprove a lot of Candace's crazy fucking ideas. I'm sure they are.
If she's right, I want to know that, and I want to see it. I want to see it proved. And if she's right, I will issue a public apology on video and writing. I will say, you know what? I doubted you. I didn't get it. You were right all along.
I will do the same.
Blah, blah.
That's a promise.
Honest to God. And if she's wrong, then we'll know that too. We'll know that whatever the errors she made are, we will know what they are. And maybe it'll bring us closer to a bigger truth about what happened to Charlie Kirk, whether it was Tyler Robinson or some other thing went on, or maybe Turning Point wasn't in on it. We'll know more. And I think everybody wants to see it. We want to see, she's been building the energy for 3 months. This is supposed to be the climactic, like jury trial, courtroom drama moment. And she goes, I can't go. Well, you know what? I can't take you seriously then.
I agree completely with Nick. You know, there's a lot of times I disagree with Nick, but when someone's right, they're right. And Nick is absolutely fucking right. Okay? Absolutely. In my opinion. Here's Director Cash Patel, looking crazy as ever, responds to Candace Owens claiming French government made death threats against her. Watch the full clip. So it does seem like they're looking into it and not just ignoring it.
There's been an allegation made by prominent podcaster Candace Owens that she's received a death threat, a credible death threat from the French, that a threat has been made on her life, and that the French, she's been told, also may have had a role in Charlie's assassination. Have you looked into either of those? Do you believe she's received a credible death threat from the French, or that the French had something potentially to do with Charlie's death?
Any American that receives a death threat from overseas or anywhere in America is going to be fully investigated. So we're not going to turn our eye away from that investigation or any others. If there's anything to it, this FBI will respond to it.
Okay, but so far, no.
We are just looking at everything that comes in. We're not going to reject any piece of information. If someone feels that their life is being threatened, we are, of course, looking at it.
See, he didn't like take any shots. I wonder how she's going to take this. She's probably already responded and been like, oh, Cash Patel. He says they're looking into it. They're taking it seriously. He didn't say, actually, it's bullshit. No, that's actually kind of a pro Candace. Like if she's a victim here, we're looking into it. I don't know. I would like to see what they've uncovered. Like if they can uncover that this was just a fucking troll on Candace, somebody was just trolling her from fans, or maybe some Macron person was trolling her to get her to look stupid. Like I'd like to know that. And if it is, there's real evidence that France is trying to kill one of our citizens, then yeah, I'm ready to go to war with France. Send it in. Let's go. Send it. Let's go. But I don't think that's the case. Here's Charlie. Okay. Less than a month before Charlie Kirk died, he was asked about Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes blaming Jews for everything. This, to me, is the real Charlie Kirk. Okay? The Charlie Kirk who they're inventing after his death, this noble Charlie Kirk who finally standing up to Israel and they fucking murdered him. You guys are creating a fucking fictional character of Kirk to like feed your need to push a narrative. This is the real fucking Charlie Kirk.
Thank you for coming, Charlie. And I had a quick question about anti-Semitism online. Another question here they asked about Candace Owens. And, you know, I'm a big fan of you. I was a big fan of her. But she's obviously been going down this anti-Semitic bent. And through her, I'm kind of finding out about these other characters online, like Nick Fuentes. I'm sure you've heard of him. And these people, they've been active for a long time, and it seems like they've just been ignored, which is working, but now they're kind of surging in popularity. And as someone who I enjoy watching your debates, are they people you'd be willing to engage with and maybe shut them down in a way through a debate or something like that?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to debate Candace. But no, look, I'll debate anybody that shows up at our campus events first and foremost, but I do want to take what you say and extrapolate it.
He's not willing to debate, so he's not even willing to talk to her, it sounds like.
There is a corner of the internet of people that want to point and blame the Jews for all their problems. Everybody, this is demonic and it's from the pit of hell, and it should not be tolerated, period. But it goes to a deeper, more structural problem of an entire generation that has economic resentment. They don't own anything. They're not getting married. They're not having children. They're depressed. They're anxious. They're staring at their screens all day long. And if all of a sudden you're extrapolating.
Just a reminder, this is August 21st. 21st. God, I'm retarded sometimes. 2025. He died September 10th. Okay? This is very shortly before he died. And you're telling me he went from this to all of a sudden he was going to be just like Nick Fuentes and that Israel had to take him out? Give me a fucking break, guys. Give me a break.
Of all that is, well, it's the Jews' fault. That is sloppy and shallow thinking. And not only that, they say, oh, it's the Jews' fault. Okay, let's kind of play this out. Well, tuberculosis, that used to kill about 1 billion people. You know, it's a group of Jewish scientists that came up with the antibiotic that cured tuberculosis. How about CPR, the MRI machine? You know, there's over 500 million lives that were saved over the last 50 years because of people that were Jewish scientists that were working on things. They'll never say thank you to the Jews, but they'll always say shame on the Jews. It's weird how that works. And finally, they always blame the Jews for stuff. Jewish people are an ethnicity. So therefore, definitionally, you have people that are secular, orthodox, religious, that are all over the spectrum. You're trying to blame an entire ethnicity for a singular problem. Hold on, let's take a step back here. Instead of that, what could you possibly do in your own personal life to improve your own state of being? If you are blaming 0.02% of the world's population for all of your problems, that is not going to be good for your soul. It's not good for your psychology. It's not good for your future in any way, shape, or form. And so I would just say this, that any young person that goes into this hyper online brain rot, you are serving yourself over to your own demise. You are serving yourself into a suicide mission that will not make you happier and not make you healthier. Instead, here's what your attitude should be. Your attitude should be like, I can't own stuff. I got it. Can't own a home. That not getting married. I don't know who to date. He said, wow, the challenges are immense. I'm going to now overcome all those challenges and go on an adventure. I'm going to prove everyone wrong. I'm now not going to be a victim. I'm going to be a victor. I'm going to dig deep. This is still a great country. This is a free country. I'm going to use my agency. I'm going to use my ability. And I'm not just going to go point in the corner and be like, I'm overweight because of the Jews. Women don't want to date me because of the Jews. How about this? As Jordan Peterson would say, sit up straight with your shoulders back, follow the rules for life, make yourself interesting, learn something new every single day, and instead of pointing at a small group of people and engaging in this brain rot, become a better person. You'll be a happier and healthier, more joyful and productive person because of it.
If only he knew he was going to die less than 30 days later and this brain rot was going to reach a new fucking level of brain rot. This is hyper brain rot. I wish we could have the brain rot we had in August back. That was like, that brain rot you could deal with. This brain rot is fucking monumental. But this is Charlie Kirk in his own words. This is what Charlie Kirk believed. Okay, everybody wants to put words in his mouth now. Oh, because there was an email that he did this. This is Charlie Kirk. This is who he was. Right up to his death. But yeah, let's pretend like all of a sudden the people who were attacking them, the people who at this moment were reply guys talking shit about how Charlie Kirk supported Israel, like they know what Charlie Kirk was really about. They know, right? Don't pay attention to what comes out of his mouth, guys. We got a text. We got a text. I had to include this in here because this is pretty funny. Candace Owens, when asked for evidence. Oh, Family Guy. That's pretty spot on. I just had to include that. So yeah. Tim Pool got shot at last night, or his facility got shot at last night. And by the way, the episode last night, Tim Pool's live stream with Milo and George Santos, that was fucking entertaining. Hate Tim Pool all you want. Last night's episode was fucking entertaining, bro. And Milo kind of gave the game away. A lot of people hate TPUSA. Milo hates TPUSA. I think Candace hates TPUSA. And this goes back to before Charlie Kirk's death because they were canceling people. I get it. That's fucking stupid, but they were like worried about being canceled themselves. So they canceled a ton of people and basically, you know, Candace probably being one, Milo being another. They just canceled Tim and then Tim talks some shit about TPUSA, the way they handle things. So there's a lot of people that have a bone to pick with TPUSA. So that might really be at the heart of this. Again, I've always said Candace to me seems like a scorned woman who will do anything to get revenge against the Daily Wire, against TPUSA, against the whole fucking conservative movement that has laughed her out of it recently. And that's a good theory. I think it's a solid theory. But here's what happened at Tim Pool last night. Last night, a vehicle approached our property and opened fire. No one was hurt. Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to appropriate law enforcement. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil. So is Tim insinuating that because he's calling out Candace and that grift, that somebody pulled up and took some shots at him? Or is this just more left-wing shit? Or like, who knows, man? I'd like to see the investigation into this. And yeah, I mean, people hate on Tim Pool and they think this is a grift probably. Oh, he's just grifting, making this up. I don't think he is. I think Tim Pool's been a target of a lot of things. My immediate thoughts is someone was trying to scare us, but we have a security gate and armed guards, and it's possible this deterred something more serious. That is pretty terrifying, man. Nick Sorter was just attacked. Nick Sorter is in New Orleans. They got more of these ICE protests in New Orleans, and he was attacked. Looked like somebody tried to take his phone, and then he started kind of hitting him. And then, yeah, let's see what happens here. Obviously, audio's really, really low. That's just what it is. I'll turn it up as much as I can. Watch this again, because it's hard to tell what happens in this. Okay, looks like yellow sweater, hoodie, yellow hoodie. Yeah, tries to take his phone right there. Basically trying to stop him from doing his making his video. This is what they do now. It seems like they did this to Tommy Boy too. Like they went up and stole his phone. This seems like the latest move. Just steal your shit. And then this is a water bottle. When I first saw it, I was like, he's swinging it like it's a knife, dude. He's stabbing her with a fucking water bottle. It's kind of funny. Like, I don't think that's going to hurt her or him, whoever the fuck that yellow jacket guy is. It's just, yeah. Nick's got to be careful, man. So yeah, this shit's still going on. Yeah, I'm worried somebody else is going to get hurt, man. You know, I hope nobody else gets hurt. I hope we don't get any more Charlie Kirk situations, you know, fucking. We're going to have to hear another 3 months of Candace fucking and her conspiracies. Candace Owens and her fans have become the laughing stocks of the internet. Live streamers everywhere are roasting the hell out of them, and deservedly so. Enter Kino Casino. We'll finish it with this one. I didn't know if we had enough time to get to it, but we do. We're only an hour and a half in. Kino Casino going in. You know, I love the Kino Casino boys making fun of Candace Owens. We'll listen to it. I haven't listened to it yet. We'll give them a shot. And, you know, guys, what do you think in the chat? What do you think about this? Am I off base? Should I do a poll? I don't know. I feel like I'm right on the money. I'm off base, Crumpulus. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Crumpulus. I'm sorry. Let's do a poll. I'll do a poll right now. We'll play this, and then I'll do a poll, and you guys can tell me if if I'm wrong with my opinions on Candace and Ian, okay?
You remember last week, Candace Owens said that she had to go into hiding because she was in fear for her life because French assassins of Emmanuel Macron were coming to kill her.
Okay.
Now, Candace going into hiding, it turned out she was hiding at the Dollywood theme park in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Pigeon Forge?
She is spotted at the Dollywood safe house where a fan of hers took a photo with her. So this is my daughter's best friend went to Tennessee for Thanksgiving. They spent yesterday at Dollywood. Guess who she ran into?
Dude, these guys always have the best sets, bro. Kino Casino has, Red Bar's got a good set. Kino Casino sets are like over the top good. I got to get my set game up, dude. At some point, I'm going to impress you guys. I'm going to have the greatest fucking set. I got to get at least 1,000 viewers, though. I got to make more money. Once I make more money, my set's going to be fucking fire, bro.
Yeah, Candace Owens out in the open.
What's Dollywood?
In a public place. So it's Dolly Parton's amusement park.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Yeah,
I've heard of it. I thought it was something else, like an album or something. All right, cool.
Okay, so this is holy shit. Candace Owens' top supporter just confirmed Candace was in fact at Dollywood over the Thanksgiving break. She was out in public with family, carefree, taking photos while making her fans think her life was in danger. She never took her assassination threat seriously. Between this and her admission that she didn't properly report the threats, I think it's safe to say that Candace's house of lies is starting to crumble.
It's not suspicious to you guys that she does this whole fucking narrative about France trying to kill her based on some anonymous source, and then she doesn't even bother to actually report it through the proper channels? She just sends somebody a text, and then that's not suspicious to you guys? And then she's out just like hanging out in public. I mean, to me, that's suspicious. Like, why? That it doesn't add up. You're not behaving like somebody taking this seriously.
Her supporters are scrambling to make excuses, but they know this looks very bad. Well, one of the supporters came out. They're sweeping as hard as they can. First off, she wasn't in hiding. She took the week off. It's literally Thanksgiving week. Secondly, going to an amusement park that implements a 100% security check on every person there is probably one of the safest things she could have done with her family.
Yes.
Why do you? This is the safest thing she could have done. So don't even worry. They really they take.
Dude, that's the Candace supporters, bro. This is why, like, I don't know if they'll be able to keep this grift up forever, because no matter what comes out that makes them look stupid or evidence that says, oh, actually, you're wrong about this, it doesn't matter. They'll just continue to go on. They always have the comeback of, that's fake and gay. It's fake and gay, guys. So yeah, they just will not, they'll refuse all evidence. Like, we could literally probably have a video of Tyler Robinson on the roof taking the shot, and they'll be like, I don't believe it, it's fake, it's AI generated. You watch. They're going to refuse to believe anything that goes against what they want to be real.
They checked it. It's the safest thing she could have been.
By the way, I don't know, I've mentioned this before, but I was assassinated like 5 days ago by Eritrea. An Eritrean assassin showed up to my house and assassinated me. I'm technically dead right now, and this is an AI version of me. I just wanted to make sure you guys know that, because some of you might have missed it.
Okay, so Candace Owens was finally ready to present the proof of all of her claims. This is what Candace Owens came up with, okay? This is her proof that the French government planned to assassinate her. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Foremost, if you were one of the people online who believed for a single second that it was even a remote possibility that I simply made up.
At Andrew Wilson 803 super chatted $5. I think she lost a good friend and went off the deep end, unfortunately. Grief does weird things to people.
I don't know. I don't know if she even actually cared for Charlie Kirk, to be honest, dude. I don't know. I've thought about that too. Like, this could be just like her way of grieving. You know, people grieve in weird ways, and maybe her weird way of grieving is to create a bunch of conspiracies and go down these weird rabbit holes and just. But the more I think about it, I don't know if she gives a fuck about Charlie Kirk. She's not behaving like somebody who cares about Charlie Kirk and Charlie Kirk's family and his legacy. She's just taking it and making it her own. She's now Charlie Kirk. She speaks for Charlie Kirk. I don't know if she really did care about Charlie Kirk, to be honest. I don't know.
Up a French assassination attempt heading into Thanksgiving week.
It couldn't be. I just could have made it up? No. There's no chance of that. So for those of you who thought that there was even the remotest, slightest possibility that Candace Owens was making any of this up, she has the receipts right now.
Okay.
Or like attention or something. A claim which has.
Emma says she was infatuated and he fired her. Come on. Well, do we know that for sure? Is this, again, it's more speculation. Where's the smoking gun that proves that that's the case? That's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible that she was in love with them and she hates Erica because Erica stole her man. That's all possible. But I can't say 100% that's the case. That's a theory. We'll throw it up there with all the other theories.
Has gone viral. When I say viral, I mean.
She goes, oh, I did it for attention. She's like, I would never have done it for attention. That doesn't make sense. Then proceeds to list exactly how viral it went. You know, proceeds to talk about exactly how much attention she got. But she couldn't have possibly done it for attention. It's totally.
Okay.
Totally,
Just the tweet alone had over 100,000 retweets and 45 million impressions on X alone. This was front page.
Listen, impressions on X doesn't mean anything. Like, it actually, buddy, my tweets about my cat photos get like 100,000 impressions.
Yeah, but Andy, you don't understand. For her and her audience, the more views she gets, that makes her more right. So she's pointing out how many, and it did get a lot of views, because that, for their world and their reality, that means you're right, because you got a ton of views. That means you're spot on. Everything's right. That's why she points that shit out.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, the impressions on X.
Global news from the United States to Russia. It's now been a full week since I made that announcement. And here is the official response issued by the Elysee Palace. Nothing. Nothing.
Well, wait.
And I publicly challenged.
Whoa, what?
Okay, so that's her proof that what she's saying is true, is because she didn't get an official response from the French government. It means that there must have been an attempted assassination on her life.
What?
That's her proof. Yeah.
What?
The Candace is making everything up crowd.
I'm glad Kino Casino is finally covering this shit.
To prove.
You can give quartering a break. Give quartering a break and let's cover Candace.
Prove it. Press the White House for a response.
So are they going to tweet out, we're not trying to kill you?
We now have to...
Yes, I'm reacting to somebody reacting, okay? This is the internet, 2025. I got more time to kill, guys.
Prove a negative and prove that it didn't happen, as opposed to her providing any sort of evidence that it did happen, of which it's been a week and there has been no evidence provided, other than that there's not an official response. But guaranteed, if they did respond and say it didn't happen, she would go, here's the proof it did happen. Look, they're denying it. Obviously, they have something to hide. So this is the game that her and other schizophrenics play, where no matter what happens, they can be twisted to confirm their agenda that they're pushing.
So
right?
If I say Candace Owens is trying to murder me, and then I come in the next day and go, guys, she didn't tweet out that she wasn't trying to murder me. There's your evidence. Like, that's retarded. What the fuck?
Let her cook.
The White House is the ball's very firmly in their court. And a week later, this is the...
At Bobreen 1108 super chatted $2. Grifters grift to those dumber than they are.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of dumb people out there that, that could be taken advantage of. And then there's just, not all of them are dumb, just some people, a lot of women, man. I'm telling you, this is Days of Our Lives, 2025, modern day soap opera. A lot of women are into this. I mean, go look at all the women on the internet that will start attacking you the moment you say anything bad about Candace. It's just, gossipy women drama, and it sells. Women love it.
The official White House response.
Why would the White House actually respond to you? Like, I'm serious.
Well, Kash Patel did respond, so...
What the fuck?
These are like delusions of grandeur, no?
Somebody was saying, Crumpler said you like Andy more than PPP? Come on now. That can't be true. PPP is the star of the show. Look, I'm not saying I don't like Andy, but PPP is definitely the star of the show.
Like, unless but then if they do respond and then she spews more, but they have to respond to every single thing she comes up with.
Yeah.
Till the end of time.
Well, if they respond and go, we're not doing this, then she's going to go, look, they're saying they're not, and they're watching, so they are. Like, you could just twist anything into this.
Yep.
This bitch is nuts. Is she okay? What happened?
She's fine. She's getting so many views and making so much fucking money. I don't think, I think she might also know, like, the grift is on the way out, so she's like, oh shit, I hit fucking jackpot. And I'm going to take advantage of this as long as I can because, Trump's going to be out of office. Who knows what the future is going to be for the MAGA grifters, the right-wing grifters. Our time might be up. And she's just like, I'm going to ride this shit all the way to the fucking bank. Because for as crazy as we say she is, she's crazy like a fox, bro. And a lot of people at the end of the day, what is their goal? Their goal's money. Money is their goal. As a super chat comes in for $1.99. Spocko, what's up, bro?
2181 super chatted $1.99. Plot twist, Candace did it.
Hey, there's a lot of people that think that could be the case. You know, she's covering up for her own fucking, you know, maybe she was a scorned lover and she hired some kid. It's possible. I'm just asking questions. That's all. I'm allowed to ask. Are we allowed to ask questions?
For money,
She's
right?
Thank you, Spocko.
Well, yeah, I don't know if she's
By the way, 17 away from 100 likes, guys. Smash the thumbs up. It's much appreciated if you're enjoying the show. If you're a hate watcher, do what you always do. Smash the thumbs down. Love you too. El Jefe with the 10 gifted memberships. Links in the description if you want to become a member, join on Discord or join or Patreon. Thank you, El Jefe with the 10 members. I'm going to mute this because this is going to ding a lot. But welcome to everybody who's a member. All the new members because of El Jefe and his generosity. Thank you, brother. I hope you're enjoying the show, El Jefe. Thank you so much with the 10 gifted, man. And welcome everybody. If you got a free membership, don't look a gift horse in the mouth and say thank you to El Jefe because he rocks. He's a very generous man. There's a reason we call him El Jefe, okay? He's the big guy. Thank you, El Jefe. You rock, dude.
I don't know. Maybe there is something to it. Maybe Emmanuel Macron is gonna take her out, buddy.
You know,
maybe we're inadvertent tools of the frogs, and you know it's the FQ. It's the French question. How deep does this rabbit hole? I'm gonna be real. She made a
the FQ now. Now we got the FQ. I guess, you know, the JQ stuff, the Israel stuff, I guess that got boring. We needed a new fucking scapegoat. So it's France now.
real big mistake pivoting.
But of course, with the help of Israel.
This from it's the Jews and it's Israel to it's France and Macron.
It should have stayed with the Jews, right?
Yeah, 100%. Everybody's like,
Agreed.
what the fuck are you talking about? It's the French. Like, what are you talking about? We want to talk about Jews. You know? Like, everyone's like, listen, the trendy thing is the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay? And everyone...
John, we know you don't feel comfortable getting a membership. And John, just let's nip this in the bud right now, John. You do not need to get a membership, Butter. I don't know why I called you Butter. I can barely talk today. Brother John, you do not need to get a membership. You are a member for all intents and purposes, John. Okay? Don't worry about it, brother.
That Israel...
I don't want you to get a membership either, John. I don't want you to deal with credit cards and all that. We know you're a sweet boy. We don't want you to, you just keep being a sweet boy in the comment section, John, okay? We love you, dude.
Israel did this. And then you go, no, actually, it's Macron because I said...
I can barely talk today, dude. I'm sorry. Buttercup. Let's just call it John. You are my little precious Buttercup, John.
That Macron's wife was a man. So it's actually the French that puppeteer the whole world or whatever. I don't know. I feel like she's losing a lot of support with this weird pivot to that it was the French all along. But anyway.
I did see she seemed to drop to 130K. When I saw her at her most, she was at 160K. But then the last couple streams, maybe I missed it and that was not at its height, but I saw him at like 130K. We might have already seen the fucking, the top of the fucking pyramid, and now it's all just down as like she's got to fucking actually back up all the shit she's saying. And the shit gets crazier and crazier. Ping is hungry, so he thought of butter. No, I'm not. I had some eggs before. Not hungry at all. But yeah, guys, that's it. Yeah, I had to throw some if you don't know who these guys are, this is Kino Casino. They live stream on Kick, but they also post clips to YouTube. And this beautiful man down here, PPP. For me, a lot of people find him annoying. I mean, everybody's got their own taste, I think PPP is fucking entertaining. He's hilarious as fuck. But yeah, so we'll hang out a little bit and see if we can fill 15 minutes. If you guys got any questions, anything you want to, if you think I'm wrong about something, you want to challenge me, here's your time. Here's your chance to challenge me, okay? Let me get this back on me here. Challengers, okay? The door's open, challengers. Challenge me. Tell me how I'm wrong. And Nick is losing support because of his pivot on Charlie getting Kirk. True. Everybody's losing support. True. So yeah, it doesn't mean anything that she's losing support. That doesn't make her wrong. But I'm just saying the grift is probably the timer's already going. It's only so much time left on this grift. Corn Pop, did it not play your message? Do I not have Let me see. Maybe I gotta re-add the fucking. There we go. Oh, I gotta undo the muter. There we go. Did you send 2 of them, Corn Pop? Sorry about that, Corn Pop. Well, I played it twice. Did it still not fucking? What is it doing here? What is it doing here? Let me try this again. I want to make sure this works. I don't know what I did to screw this up. Okay, come on now. I'm gonna hear the. There we go. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Corn Cob.
At
Corn
Corn
Pop.
_82
Corn
super
Pop.
chatted $5. If she's proven wrong, she'll say the CERN Hadron Collider opened a black hole and changed our timeline from the one where she's right.
Dude, I wouldn't put anything past her. Anything's possible with Candace, and she's got people that are gonna believe everything without fail. So, thank you, Corn Pop. You muted because Olive. Yeah, that's what the problem was. Because that ding, people complain about the ding. Oh, it won't stop dinging. I can't watch the dings. The dings. I love the dings. The dings mean somebody's actually paying for the show.
Andrew
I love
Wilson
that.
803 became a member.
Andrew, what's up, buddy?
Wilson 803 celebrates 4 months of membership. They're gonna do it with a baguette-shaped shiv in a French coffee shop, dressed as a French mime.
Oh man, that'd be a funny movie. That'd be a funny like Benny Hill sketch, little sketch. Yeah. The French, man. I mean, the balls of Candace to make it about the French, and it makes sense because she's got this whole war with Macron, so it pivots to like actually Macron's involved. Kind of convenient. Don't stop the dinging. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, Olive, I love the ding. I also love the Rogan yell.
At Freeman 3 super chatted $10. Candace is a Brian De Palma film. Chi get the yayo.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I wish her the best, dude. I wish her the best because I don't know. What are we going to get in the future? Is there going to be a point where Candace is going to be like, "I'm sorry for what I did. I lost my mind," or is she just going to forever run with this grift? I wonder, but I don't think in the long run, like, you guys got to understand how quick things flip. Things flip real quick. 1 second the mob loves you, the next second they don't. Like, take a look at what Nick's dealing with now for not going along with Candace. So, the mob's going to flip on her too, just like it flips on me, just like it flips on Nick. The mob's always right about everything, guys. The one thing I know for sure is that when a mob of people on the internet start attacking me, they're right about it. They're 100% right. Because that's how things work. Mobs are never wrong. Did Ping respawn into a different window, or is this a clip? Yep, I respawn. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? She'll eventually just disappear after she made enough money. I mean, yeah, like Nick was talking about, she's connected to British fucking royalty. Hundreds of millions of dollars in their bank account, and now she's probably flooding it with even more. I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up with some sort of daytime television show. Some sort of Jerry Springer type shit. That'd be a good fit for her. She'd be good at it. Mob is always right. You're right, Olive. Whenever the mob comes at you, it's not like mobs used to hang fucking innocent people all the time. Like in cities where like in the Wild West where there was no fucking like sheriff yet, the mob would just be like, "Oh, I think he's the one who fucking stole the horse. Up, hang him." Yeah, the mobs are great, guys. We love mobs. We love mobs around here. Stay in the truth lane. I try, Emma. I do my best. And it's not good for me. Because grifting, like, you want to kind of throw out, like, trying to find the truth, and you just go, which angle is going to give me the most views and money? So, but it's more, I prefer truth. I will take hits and people unsubscribing and people being mad. But if I'm on, I feel like at least I'm following my guiding light of what the truth is. I feel good about myself. I get in my own way sometimes. Michael Francesi has a big following. Yeah, the ex-mob guy. Yeah, he's pretty big. He's got a big podcast too now, right? Goon Squad. Andrew Wilson, like the I kind of mob or the other kind? No, like a mob of villagers with pitchforks ready to burn your shit down. That mob. Not the mob like the mafia. Like a mob, Mobs are like the worst of humanity, bro. When you get a bunch of crazy people together, like reason goes out the window. It's like they all become just hive mentality. And yeah, mobs are dangerous. And we see mobs on the internet all the fucking time. All the fucking time. And then, the mob thinks because they're in a mob, they're right. Well, how could you say we're wrong? We have so many people here in our mob. That means we're right. It's like, that's not how things work. I'm sorry. It's not. AI ping is better. Do you think AI ping is better? Look, I think AI is doing a great job recreating my likeness and capturing the essence of the ping trip. But if I'll be honest, I would have preferred not to be assassinated by the Eritreans and still be alive doing the show. But, if it's got to be AI, it's AI. Those damn Eritreans, bro, I don't know how long I can keep that up. If political assassinations in the USA become more common, so we got big troubles. I agree, Caller Ty. I agree 100%. That's why I really hope we don't see any more, because that's a slippery slope into real unrest, political unrest, and we're very easily could slip into that. I mean, we're very close to a civil war type situation, and that would be one of the signs that we are going in that direction if we keep seeing more of this shit. Hey, Pink, can you get one show a month where you show us hopeful, wholesome shit instead of the tragic bleakness of the world? Akuma Skill, get on my Discord and write that show for me. I don't. It's just I go with whatever I'm into at the moment and what's entertaining. And I don't think this was that bleak. Was this bleak? Do you guys think this was blackpilling? Was this bleak and blackpilling? I hope not. I would hope it would be entertaining. I'll try, man. I'll try. People don't really care about positive stuff, though. I don't know. What can I talk about that's hopeful right now? What's hopeful? Let me think of something positive to say. I got nothing, guys. I got nothing. Give me something positive. What can we do that's positive? I'll get yeah, I mean, I'll let you write that episode of Kuma Skill. You just basically give me a bunch of positive topics. Give me like 20 positive topics, and I'll do one episode a month covering all your positive topics. Okay? People might not watch, but I'll do it. I'll do it. Positivity is depressing. Yeah, well, it's also boring. It's, you're hacking human nature. Human nature is to focus on negative things. If you've watched Rogan's probably talked about this a million times, and it's very true. Like, by nature, our attention goes to the things that we consider dangerous. Negative is another way to put it, because those are the things that will end our life. The positive things are great. They do give us dopamine, blah, blah, blah. But if there's a negative thing happening at the same time a positive thing is happening, the negative thing is always going to jack your attention, because that's the thing that could kill you. And ultimately, for survival, you will pay more attention to the negative thing, what good for good or bad. So that gets hijacked in our modern culture of like getting people's attention. And it's the way it is. I'm that way too. If I get a video from an influencer I follow and he's like, I had a wonderful day today. Look at what I ate. And oh, look, I made good grades and I just graduated college. I'm like, skip it. Now, if I get the same video from that influencer and he's like, my life is falling apart and I'm, like some clickbait or like somebody's trying to kill me or, that will grab my attention. I'm just as guilty of that as everybody else. And that's just the way we are as humans, unfortunately. Big shows are coming. Be prepared. I agree, Crumpulus. Big shows. Big shows. Somebody said earlier, I forgot who said it. They said if I get too big, I'm going to get canceled. Isn't that what happens to everybody? Well, what would they cancel me for? Something I said? Not condemning the right person? Like whatever they would try to cancel me for. And I guarantee you, I don't have like closets I don't have skeletons in my closet. I haven't been convicted of raping somebody or murdering somebody or pedophilia. Like I don't have girlfriends who are going to fucking come out and be like, he was mean to me. I don't have none of that shit. Unless people are lying. People can lie. But good luck with that. Good luck with lying. But yeah, I mean, maybe I say the wrong thing. Who knows? But it wouldn't stick. It would just get me more attention, honestly. So go ahead and cancel me. You're going to get me more attention. That's what you want to do. Controversy sells. Look at the news. Exactly, Andrew Wilson. And it's not that it sells because that's what people are interested in. That's the reality. People are interested in that shit. The color in your face looks positive, Ping. Thank you. Somebody with a positive comment about the color in my face. I appreciate that. Usually it's like, what do you got? Fucking jaundice? What do you got? Jaundice? I don't know. I mean, I get it. I look a little a little yellower today. You know, maybe it's the I don't know. But I always look good though. Can't deny that. People try to tell me I don't look good, and it's like, dude, I have a mirror. I can see how fucking beautiful I am. Stop fucking with me, okay? Ping made them all sign NDAs. Exactly, I did. I made every girlfriend sign an NDA. It's the move, El Jefe. Get a bigger tree Ping. That will make things positive. Yeah, okay. I gotta look at my bank account. See if I want to splurge on a fucking tree. Shit. I got cars to fix. I got money going a million different places. So the small tree might have to fucking be it for now. But I'll see. I'll look into it. Actually, I think I might have an old. No, I don't. I gotta look. I think I might have an old, not a real tree, but one of those you put together. I might have one of those. I gotta look for it. Ping his scurvy. I don't, bro. Come on, man. I have plenty of vitamin C, dude. I'm fucking up to the fucking neck in vitamin C, bro. What are you talking about? That's the whole point. Being canceled is a good thing now, depending on how you respond. It can be good. It can be bad. It's bad if you're nuked off everything. If you're nuked off everything, a la Alex Jones. Alex Jones was able to survive because he's already put a ton of money into his own platform, InfoWars. Most people would not be able to survive that. There's a lot. I mean, people look at the people that were canceled, Nick Fuentes, et cetera, who blew up even though they were canceled. That's not everybody. A lot of people get canceled and they get banned off everything. And honest, when I say canceled, the only canceled I care about is being banned off the platforms. I don't care about some left-wing media site writing a hit piece. Like, that's going to help me. Yeah, please write hit pieces on me. Give me more attention. But getting banned, nuked off everything, that's a little different. Obviously, Rumble's still around. I'd probably go to Rumble, and then if it made enough waves, hopefully that would bring people to Rumble. I don't know. But there's always the possibility I go to Rumble and I'm broadcasting to 10 people because I can't reach my audience anymore, and they don't even know. Yeah, so it's a gamble. It's a gamble, you know? YouTube settled $24 million for censoring our President Trump. God bless Trump. God bless him. We really need to reform speech laws around the internet. We gotta stop letting social media be the decider of who gets a voice and what gets pushed and what doesn't get pushed. Ping's fake take has gone a bit too yellow. Oh, come on, Olive. Olive, that hurts my feelings, Olive. Fake tan, I think is what you said. Yeah, I don't have a fake tan. I'm white as fuck. What I have is the candle. I have a golden light. It's not yellow. It's golden. It's beautiful golden light. And then you're seeing me bask in that light, so it kind of makes me look a little more golden. Okay. All right. I'm the golden boy. Pseudonym alias, also known as Brandon L. Brandon, we got to get your name back to Brandon L. Dude, how did this happen? How did this happen? I'm surrounded by trees in a forest. I'm not dragging a dead one into my house. They will attack me. I don't know what we're talking about, dude. I don't know. I'm trying. ABC settled for $12 million. He didn't sue the BBC, right? Because the BBC was probably the worst one with their January 6th edit, making it look like he's telling people to storm the White House. I think he's threatened to sue them. I think that would be a slam dunk. I think BBC apologized already. Maybe that's what's stopping it. But yeah, we got to hold people accountable, man. Beautiful golden ping clone. Exactly. You got it, Kevin Bacon. Thank you, Kevin Bacon. You the man. Big fan. Tremors, wonderful film. I don't know about all the sequels, but the first one was pretty decent. Emma, Trump suing New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and now BBC. Is he suing BBC? I heard he was. I hadn't committed to the lawsuit yet. Let me see. Let me find this out. I thought he was still kind of mulling it over. Let me see what's the latest on this. I mean, it'd be a quick lawsuit. Yeah, no, he still hasn't sued him yet because they apologized. He has publicly threatened to file a lawsuit against the broadcaster for at least $1 billion. But yeah, they did apologize. BBC issued an apology for the edit, but rejected the compensation demand, arguing no defamation occurred. Okay. The program wasn't broadcast in the U.S., and Trump must prove malice and harm under U.S. law. No further contact from Trump's team was reported after the deadline. We'll see. Go ahead, Trump. You can do it. You can do it. Sue him. Tremors is my favorite Kevin Bacon movie. I'm surprised it's not Footloose, Olive. I know how all you chicks love Footloose. I'm like, God, this movie sucks. a movie that where they banned dancing and like, oh, we're gonna dance in rebellion. Terrible fucking movie. I hate all those 80 dance movies, man. All those the Dirty Dancing. Fucking all those stupid 80 dance movies, the 80 movies where they're all dancing all the time. Terrible. But yeah, Tremors is good. Tremors is good. The sequels are funny with beer. Yeah, there's a lot of sequels. I know my dad's seen them all. You know, my dad's got nothing to do but watch movies all day. So he just fucking, he's seen every single Tremors movie. Can you change your name back to Brandon L at pseudonym alias? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Like one day everybody's name just changed. Footloose is lame. You got it, Olive. All right, Olive. This is why you're a cool chick, Olive. This is why you're cool. This is why we like you. What else we got? Illegal dance competition movies rule. Kevin Bacon, obviously, you know, your opinions, you obviously you're biased here, Kevin Bacon. I mean, you were the star of Footloose, you know? By the way, if you make any more movies, Kevin, I would be a fantastic comedic side role, you know? Funny, fat, funny friend. You know, I can get a little fatter if you need me to be fatter for the role. Let's do it, Kevin. Let's bring back your career, bro. Crumpulus. Footloose is hilarious if you do a live dub. Yeah, maybe if you watch it in the sense of like how stupid this movie is, it would actually maybe be a little funny. I get that. Kevin Bacon saves the town with his sweet moves. So fucking dumb. I know a lot of people love 80s movies. I'm a 90s kid. I came of age in the 90s, and the 80s was a laughing stock for us. We didn't look back at the 80s like, oh, that's so cool. Look at all the cool styles. We looked back at the 80s like, God, these are a bunch of posers, dude. A bunch of weird fucking loser posers. Now, were we being a little mean? Yes, we were. That's what generations do to the previous generation. But there is some truth there. The 80s was a little fucking weird. It was unique. You'll give it that. Like, of all the... You know, remember, it's weird. We used to have like very unique times. Like the 60s was unique. You had like 60s rock and roll. You had the 60 hippie movement, you know, the acid movement. And then the 70s, you had bell bottoms, you had disco. And then the 80s, you had like synths and like long haired heavy metal. And then the 90s had and then like in the 2000s, that just stopped. In the 2000s, it's like, I don't know, like we stopped having that unique fucking shit for each decade. It's weird. It's weird. 80s was great. I know a lot of people love the 80s now. I don't know, maybe you're a Gen Xer. You know, I'm a millennial. I'm not a Gen Xer. So we just always made fun of the 80s and thought it was lame as fuck. In my opinion, has not really changed. Now, was there some good music in the 80s? Yeah, but it was all counterculture. For me, like Operation Ivy, Dead Kennedys, The Misfits, like all the fucking pop culture shit, like the fucking heavy metal, the Poisons, the Bon Jovis, you know, the fucking Depeche Modes, all that shit was garbage to me. And I don't want to hurt your feelings. If that's the shit you like, then great, like the shit you like. But for me, fucking lame, bro. Fucking lame. 2020 to 2024 sucked. Yeah, well, everything after 2020 has kind of sucked. 2020 really fucked things up, but it hasn't been too bad. It hasn't been too bad. We're alive, right? Be grateful for that. Yes, Gen Xer here, just barely. Yeah, I mean, if you're a Gen Xer, that's your childhood. Like, you feel about the 80s how I feel about the 90s. And that's perfectly acceptable. But you probably, you know, people in the 80s they probably hated the hippies and the disco movement of the 70s, right? People in the 80s were like, fuck disco. They wanted disco to die. It did. They hated the bell bottom. They hated everything about the 70s. And that's the way we were in the 90s about the 80s. But I actually like the 70s. I fucking love the 70s. Something about not the disco, but like the rock music, the fucking parties all seemed cool. I don't know, everything seemed really cool in the 70s. Way cooler than the 80s, dude. Be positive. Absolutely, Crumpulus. Be positive. Ever since Harambe died, it's just been downhill. Yeah, rest in peace, Harambe. That was fucked up. You know, he goes in there to keep the kid safe and he gets murdered for that. Fucking terrible, dude. Terrible injustice. I like the 70s and the 90s. Exactly, full purpose. Well, yeah, but you also like the 80s, so. But yeah, 70s and 90s are great. I remember, was it the 90s they actually brought back bell bottoms for a little while? 30s, 40s, 50s seemed cool. Yeah, except if you were like a man that has to go to war. That's not cool. The 40s seem cool until you're like, oh, you got to go to fucking Germany and die. Like, that's not cool. The 20s seem fucking cool. The 50s definitely seemed cool. 30s are probably cool too. Like, if outside of like World War One and World War Two, probably fucking cool. Getting your head blown off in World War One or World War Two, not cool. Not cool. 50s, cool. What are we talking about here? The cars in the 70s? Yeah, the 60s too, man. Like the 60s Mustangs, the late 60s Mustangs. 70s, 60s they're fucking cool, dude. Some of the greatest music came out of the 60s and 70s. They bringing back Knockos now? Bell bottoms, or what are we talking about? NCOs? My problem with the 80s time period movies is everyone is listening to everything contemporary and not music from the 60s and 70s. Yeah, this is one of the best time periods for music, man, the 60s and 70s. Like, you won't find much from the 80s for me, except for like punk from the 80s. Oh, Jinkos and Airwalks. Okay, got you. Yeah, Airwalks. Yeah, shit. I remember people used to wear those, all the weird little trends. It was like Doc Martens. Doc Martens were cool. Everybody's wearing Doc Martens. And then the big fucking weird swatches. I remember because I have my cousins were all Gen Xers, and they were like just so into fucking 80s shit, dude. And I was a kid, but I would laugh at them and go, "You guys are fucking nerds." I was like 5 years old, telling my older teenage cousins that they're fucking nerds. No, I didn't do that. They used to bully me. They beat me up. I had to be nice. When you're the runt, you got to be nice. What's up, Danny? How you doing? That LGBT plus slasher film, they then broke my fanship for Kevin Bacon, Generation X here. Oh, I haven't seen it. I don't watch too many films these days. I don't. I understand your frustration, Danny. Well, your Kevin's here. You can vent your frustrations with Kevin here in person, Danny. Let him know he ruined his entire fucking career. Okay, you should have stopped after Apollo 13. You should have retired after Apollo 13. JL Dubs, 80s music was good only because I'm into dance music. Well, that's great, JL Dubs. If you're into it, you're into it, bro. Don't let me being like 80s music sucks make you not like something you like, right? That's just my opinion. You know, it's all taste. Everybody has their own taste. String anime. In the 80s, I was computer animating in DOS. It was a big part of the tech push. Good time to be a nerd jock. Yeah. I mean, fuck, people that were ahead of that game, like, they ended up making good livings, dude. People that are learning computers, like, oh, you're a bunch of nerds. And then, like, computers, the whole world is fucking computers now. Would you want to play a character that gets killed in a creative way in a horror film? Yeah, I would absolutely do that. Yeah, I mean, I would play a murder victim. Who wouldn't? Who doesn't want to get murdered on film? Doctors are trash now? Yeah, doctors are trash now. Now, medicine's better, but it's all a grift. It's all a grift, bro. It's all about that bottom line. Oh, you're sick? You need a surgery to save your life? Well, you better have the money, or you just go in debt. Go to the emergency room. Everything is computer. True, it is. I was 5 when Nintendo 64 came out. Oh, Segato, however you say your name, Segeto. I bet you think back at those times, because, I mean, I was older when 64 came out, but, dude, the 64 time period was such a blast, dude. Mario Kart, GoldenEye, the fucking games, and then it had 4 controllers, the fucking THQ wrestling games, you know, WWF versus NWO, or WCW versus NWO. There's the N64 time period was probably the best gaming time period there was for just being with your boys and gaming together. And people don't do that anymore. You know, everything's online now. Those are fun times, man. DOS commands were some shit. I do remember the 64 controller. I fucking hated it because it was so different because I was used to the PlayStation at that time. And it was so different. I fucking hated it for like the first, I don't know, year. I would be like, man, the 64 fucking sucks, because that controller took a long time to get used to. And I didn't like the Mario Kart, the Mario, Super Mario or whatever it was, the Mario 64 that came out. I thought that game sucked. But once I got into Mario Kart, GoldenEye, I was hooked, dude. I was hooked. 3D Mario World was a game changer. Yeah, all my friends played it. They were all into it, but I just was bored as fuck by that shit. I was bored as fuck by it. Anyway, guys, been a fun episode. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the support. The 10 members, El Jefe, you rock, brother. All you guys that sent super chats, thank you so much for the support. You guys rock. Links are in the description if you want to join the Discord and hang out in there with the community. It's getting a little bigger, slower, slowly, time by time. The Discord is growing, so come in there and be part of the community and also get notifications for when I go live. You can also turn the bell on if you want to be notified by YouTube. And subscribe. If you're not subscribed, you're enjoying the show. I'm here most nights, at least 4 times a week at 9 p.m. And subscribe and be part of the Pingdom. Thank you guys. You guys rock. Been a fun episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you. I'm going to try to be here tomorrow. I'm going to try my best. No guarantees, but I'm going to try. Much love, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode of the Pink Trip Show. Take care, everybody.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.